Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about how you can create your own beginner skincare routine. I've been asked so many times to tell you guys how to create your own 10-step K-beauty inspired, I guess, skincare routine, but I think it's a little bit extreme to go straight into the 10-step skincare routines when you can always start with your beginner 4-step skincare routine first. This is more based for the people who don't currently have a dedicated skincare routine or don't really know what skincare products they should be using to begin with. The idea behind the 4-step skincare routine is to get your skin in the best shape possible by using a minimal amount of product, so that later on when you add in all of those expensive serums and essences and things like that, they are actually going to be able to absorb and work better into your skin because your skin will already be in a better shape than it was previously. So I thought I would give you guys a quick rundown on what my skin is like and what skincare stuff I use first before we start. My skin is a combination of oily and dry. I have pretty dry cheeks, but I'm starting to get the oil back through my T-zone as well. As most of you guys know, I take acne medication in the form of Accutane, which is the same as Roaccutane. It's the drug isotretinoin, and that stops the oil production in my skin because I did have pretty bad acne before, and I've been on this for about, I would say, a year and a half now, and hopefully in the next 5 months I'll be able to stop taking it entirely. Fingers crossed. So my skincare routine is mostly based on hydrating my skin, but also helping to fade a lot of the scarring that the acne has of course left on my face. I use mostly Korean based skincare products. I also have a couple of Japanese ones and a couple of Western ones as well. So I don't have 100% Korean skincare, even though the 10-step skincare routine is kind of based around Korean skincare. It doesn't have to be Korean skincare or Western skincare. Whatever works best for your skin and whatever is going to target what you want to do to your skin is going to be the best option for you. And of course, everybody's skin is so different. I cannot preach that enough throughout any skincare review or video that I do. It's impossible for me to tell you what you should be doing for your skin and what is going to have the best results or is going to 100% work for you, because it's just not the case. I could be completely wrong, or you know, there's all of these different factors that come into play when you look at your skincare. So trial error is also a big thing as well. So if this is your very first skincare routine, my first tip is to not go overboard and only purchase 4 things for your first skincare routine. It can be so easy to be caught up in what other bloggers say is their holy grail moisturizer or holy grail cleanser, and all of the exciting new ingredients, like looking for like starfish and snail extracts and galactomyces. But how are you going to know what works best for your skin if you don't test every single product and see which one gives you the best results? The other tip is to patch test your product. So if you're going to be putting something on your entire face, it really is best to try it in a small patch of your face or on your neck or the inner part of your arm to see if you react badly to it, especially if you are sensitive to some ingredients or if you have sensitive skin, because just imagine putting one lotion on your face and having your face like rash up and itch. That's horrible. You would probably want to try that like on a little part of your neck and have that effect happen, and then you know that you want to avoid that product or a certain ingredient. So the concept of your 4-step beginner routine is not something that I made up. I actually read it through the Asian beauty site on Reddit, so I'm not taking any credit for this. But I wanted to talk about it because if I had read this post before I started dabbling in skincare 5 or 6 years ago, I would have saved so much money, and I would have gone through a lot less heartbreak with buying expensive products and not having them work out, or having really bad reactions and getting acne and things like that from them because I just tried to put 4 or 5 products on my face at the same time that didn't work together, or they were in the wrong steps. So it's better to start off with your basic 4 and then build your way up slowly after that. So the first step is to use an oil-based cleanser or makeup remover. This step is so important, and it's actually not something that a lot of people do, and I was really surprised by that because when I first started getting into makeup, my mum took me out and she bought me some makeup, she bought me a cleanser and makeup remover, and I always just assumed that everybody used a makeup remover and then used a cleanser, because to me it makes sense to take off the makeup and then clean your skin. And I sort of think about it like, if you got in the shower with your clothes on, do you think that you would be clean after you got out? It blows my mind. It doesn't make sense to me that people wouldn't use a makeup remover. So an oil cleanser is really important, because obviously if you're wearing makeup, it's going to take your makeup off properly. But also if you're not wearing makeup, you should be wearing sunscreen, which we will get to later. And your oil cleanser is going to remove your sunscreen, even if it's a waterproof sunscreen, which of course water or your regular foaming cleanser may not remove all of the waterproof sunscreen. So my two picks for cleansing oils are the Holika Holika Seed Blossom Moisture Cleansing Oil, which is great because it comes with a pump, so it's a lot easier to use, and the Vanilla Glow Clean It Zero Cleansing Balm. To be honest, I haven't used this one much. I've used it 2 or 3 times now, because I'm really trying to get the very last of this one out, but this is a holy grail for so many people that I thought I would give it a go and talk about it, whereas I have used almost the entire bottle of this. It's quite a big bottle as well. I actually don't know how big it is. It's 300 mils, so it's taken me quite some time to get through this. I think I've had it for maybe 8 months now, so it lasts a very long time. It's very inexpensive, but I just like it because it's got a pump and it smells nice. So all I do is take 1 pump of this and rub it all over my face and then wash it off. That's it. That's your oil cleanse. It's not very complicated, and it's really helpful for making your skin as clean as possible. So your second step is to use a low pH cleanser. And if that sounds like wacky science to you, I will leave a link in the down bar to a really good article about why you should be using a low pH cleanser. But here are a couple of reasons why you should be using a low pH cleanser. So the first reason is that your skin is slightly acidic anyway, so using something that's slightly acidic as well is going to be much better and more natural for your skin. The bacteria on your skin actually prefer a more neutral to slightly basic environment. So that means that if you are bringing the pH of your skin up into the neutral zone, bacteria are more likely to thrive in that environment. Which sounds super gross when you think about it, doesn't it? Using a high pH cleanser raises the pH of your skin, which makes it more friendly for bacteria, which is going to lead to more acne. But it also strips your skin of the oils that it produces naturally, which makes your skin feel very dry and tight. And it also prompts it to produce more oil, so a couple of minutes or a couple of hours after you finish cleansing, your skin will actually produce more oil and it will feel oilier. So using a low pH cleanser helps your skin cut down on oil production, and it helps fight the cause of oiliness and dehydration. So it's actually a really good thing for your skin. So my favourite products for low pH cleansers are the Zoom 37 Miracle Rose Cleansing Stick, which is pretty luxurious. It is quite expensive, but it is actually my favourite cleanser in the entire world, and I have 2 backup sticks in the post waiting for me. It also smells like roses, and it's got like little rose petals in it. Oh, it's just fantastic. The other one is the CosRx Low pH Good Morning Gel Cleanser. This one is a little bit harsher for my skin because it is a gel cleanser. It also has tea tree in it, so it's a little bit drying. I usually use this one 2 or 3 times a week, mostly at night if I've been wearing pretty heavy makeup, because it helps cleanse my skin a little bit more thoroughly than this one. But this is my go-to day to day. Every morning I use this and I love it. I love it so much. The third step is to use a moisturizer. Even if your skin is oily, you should be using a moisturizer, especially since you are stripping away some of the natural oils in your skin when you clean it. You should be replacing them with something, and it stops your skin from feeling dry and feeling tight as well. Of course, there are many additional benefits to using a moisturizer, but a lot of them depend on which moisturizer you use. There are also so many different types of moisturizer. You can have emulsions, lotions, gels, or creams, so it all depends on what your skin needs and what you want out of your moisturizer. So I actually have 3 different moisturizers to show you guys today, and they each have very different benefit. So the first one I have is the Vanilla Co Mist Flower and Mr. Honey Cream, and I use this one at night time because it is the most hydrating and soothing cream I think I have ever tried. It also smells...
It smells delicious. It's like fake honey, but it's like the nicest synthetic fake honey smell. Oh, like I'm addicted to using this stuff.
It makes my skin feel so bouncy, so soft and so glowy in the morning. So I use this one when I want instant hydration but also glowiness and brightness in the morning. The next one is the workhorse of the group. This is the J.Dew Green Moist Cream. Almost used the entire jar, which is crazy.
This one smells like lavender as well, which is very pleasant. It's not as addictive as the other one, but it's still a very nice smell.
This one has turned into a fantastic all-round moisturizer for me. I can use it in the morning, I can use it at night. It just generally makes my skin feel very hydrated and soft. It doesn't have as many extra properties as some of the other ones does, but it's just a good all-rounder. It moisturizes my skin, and that's what I want. The last one is my summer moisturizer, or sometimes my day moisturizer if I'm feeling a little bit oily, which is the Missha Multifunction Formula All-in-One Snail Repair Cream. This one has a really thin formula, so you can see it's almost like a gel texture. It's very lightweight, but it still moisturizes my skin and makes it feel really nice. The fourth step is using a sunscreen. I still cannot believe that I have conversations with people almost on a day-to-day basis about why you should be wearing sunscreen every time you go outside your house. So you should be using a sunscreen every day because skin cancer is horrible, and I just don't understand why anybody is increasing their chances of having a skin cancer or melanoma develop just because they don't want to put on sunscreen. It just doesn't make sense to me. In all honesty, I started wearing sunscreen on a day-to-day basis, I would say 7 years ago, which is not terrible. I grew up in a country that doesn't really believe in sun protection. Of course, as kids we're taught to slip, slop, slap and wrap, so wearing sunscreen, sunglasses, sun hats, and covering up when you're outdoors. But it was never really a day-to-day thing. It was a thing where you put on sunscreen when you go to the beach. You put on sunscreen if you're going to be in a pool. But what about the other times where you're exposed to just as much sun, but you're not doing those activities? Why should we not be wearing sunscreen then? 7 years ago, as well, is when I started getting into Korean makeup, not necessarily Korean skincare or anything like that, but I did discover some skincare items like sunscreen that were vastly different to the ones that I would be buying in the Western world, or at least in New Zealand. I think the biggest difference with sunscreens that I can buy in my local supermarket and the sunscreens that I buy online because I can't find them anywhere in New Zealand is the texture and the finish of the sunscreen. In the Western world, we think of sunscreens and we think super thick, super white and super sticky, so your hair is going to stick to it. You're going to look much paler with the sunscreen applied than you did before, and it's not the same as a Korean or a Japanese sunscreen. So one of my favorites is the Biore UV Aqua Rich Watery Essence. This is a Japanese sunscreen, and this is my favorite for using during summer. So as you can tell, it's not white. Good start. It's kind of like yellow, but it also is super thin, so you can't actually see it. It blends in really quickly. It does smell like alcohol and oranges. Lovely. Doesn't smell like sunscreen at all, and it leaves a little bit of a shine, but that's it. My other favorite and holy grail is the Missha All Round Safe Block Soft Finish Sun Milk. This is an SPF 50. This is an SPF 50 as well, and they're both PA++, PA++++++, so this one is technically more protected, but it's more of an indoor sunscreen. And this one is the same. It's absolutely beautiful. This one's got a really runny texture, and it's kind of a pink colour, but again, it spreads out so quickly and you actually cannot see it on your hand at all, or your face for that matter. This one dries matte on my skin, so it's one of my favourites to wear if I'm not wearing makeup over top of it, because you can't see it, and it's a soft matte sun milk. Can't even see anything. It's amazing. So your sunscreen helps protect your skin from the sun, which helps protect you from getting skin cancer, which I think is probably the biggest benefit that you can get from sunscreen. But if you'd like some extra benefits, it stops you from aging as quickly because the sun will age you faster. It will make your wrinkles more prominent, and it also stops the little acne scars from actually getting darker. So if you're having problems with acne scarring, a sunscreen is actually a better bet than using a whitening or lightening product that helps fade your scarring. It's the first step to actually getting better skin. And so that is my 4-step beginner skincare routine. I really hope that I didn't get too preachy about skincare because I am quite passionate about it, especially sunscreen, because I've actually been made fun of for wearing sunscreen quite a lot, and I just think it's so bizarre. Like, why would you... I don't get it. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to be talking more about the other steps in a 10-step skincare routine, which is a lot more complicated and involves lots of really interesting ingredients. So that will be coming up shortly. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Have fun with your skincare. Remember to patch test and always wear your sunscreen, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!